Warning, this is not intended to diagnose, treat, or prescribe any disease, disability, or disorder you might have. Please do two things before putting any of the information in this video to use. As this is not medical advice, it is only pure information, and I'm never going to claim I'm a doctor or claim to prescribe anything, as I am not about I try to be as little about quackery as possible. 1. Consult your healthcare professional and make sure you get both their consent and willingness to work with you. If you don't, then never go any further past this warning. 2. For those who listen and acquire their healthcare professional's consent and willingness to work with you, get allergy and sensitivity tested for any and all of the foods, substances, supplements, or extracts I may refer to. If you don't heed these warnings, follow these two pieces of medical advice, I will not be responsible for any of your actions. You have been thoroughly warned, and you have been advised. Don't try this shit at home. Take care. On to the video. Hey guys, West Pillboy Savage recording live. Before I do this video, I do have a little news for you. I got my microphone cable broke, so I'm going to get a new one soon as I can. But I'll be doing these. I'll get back to the gameplay podcast recording as soon as I can. Plus, I'm still working my ass off trying to get verified on VidMe and other platforms, because the amount of the restrictions they have on how much data you can upload and stuff like that. Not very limiting, but maybe they'll loosen up on that soon. Anyway. Yep, I will. Anyways, folks, a couple years ago I watched Govan Kilgour's video about what would I do if I had cancer. Well, kind of a cancerous bastard in person, so karma's bound to catch up to me at some point. You know your life's complete when you're being compared to an episode of South Park, or outright called a walking South Park episode, which is my case. Jokes aside, being semi-serious, but joking aside, what would I do if I got it? Well, I don't know, nothing, or maybe I'd try. Well, they have a supplement that was recommended by Bollinger, has been around since 1997, but there was also, and there's other things he promoted, but well, let's just say I went and looked at the pricing of a 10-day supply, which my response was, holy shit! And recently it went from $34.99 to $39.99 in more recent times. The price went up. With that same pricing, I can get all the same shit that's in the Life One supplement, plus agarikon, boswellic acid, and various other additions. And a resveratrol, a complex, instead of just straight up resveratrol. All in homemade capsules, by the way, for that same price range. As well as maybe a little extra. I could get, and it'd last me a couple months. And on top of that, I could get the celery pawpaw twig extract in capsule form. They sell it on Amazon all the time. You could find it. Sometimes you could find it at 30-something bucks for a 180 capsule supply. I will. So I'd be taking one of those homemade Life One capsules with extra stuff in it in the morning and one at night before going to sleep with a pawpaw. And if I were in Colorado or one of the states where it's legal all across the board, I'd probably get me cannabis tincture. I wouldn't smoke. I wouldn't smoke the stuff because it's not, tar's not good for the lungs. But I would use it a little bit here and there. Now I'd use medicinal mushrooms like garicon, turkey tail, reishi, and stuff like that. I would drink tea like this with the green tea like this. That has like just a little turmeric in it and stuff like that. I would also occasionally drink green tea with gynostemma in it because of the SOD boosting and natural killer cell activity being raised. Pawpaw's been used for thousands of years. The reason I know about the pawpaw is because I read about it in some degree of Native American literature about their food. It's one of their oldest medicinal herb and food crops, right up there with the American ginseng, the cranberry, the blueberry, the pau d'arco or tahibo tree down there, southern Louisiana and south of the border, all the way down to South America, as well as the slippery elm. It's up there, It's high. It's very high value to them, and it's not bad at all. Pawpaws grow all over the place nearly, but the extract of the twig has some compounds in it that were tested and showed toxicity to cancer cells, and what it could do was it shut down their mitochondria. And there's special agents in the cells that allow them to do their work. And as a result, all cells, normal or cancerous, work through these things called mitochondria, which is what gives them, that's their power supply, if you will. It gives, and NAD, vitamin that come out with NAD combined with taro steel beans and stuff, the two come to those two compounds together and telomerase activating and SOD boosting. That in itself is probably can regulate cellular aging quite well. There's a lot of potential there. Astronauts were talking about wanting to use it experiment with, see how they could use, see how well it would work for them in repairing DNA damage caused by cosmic radiation. So there's a lot of potential. Well, cancer cells work with it. What happens is it boosts mitochondria health. But when you use those NAD and nicotinamide riboside, I think it's called. Anyway. Well, pawpaw for cancer cells cuts off mitochondria, so they can't eat, they can't really do much, and it causes them to start starving, and they become, they're not unable to pretty much do much of anything at that point. So they start to slowly die while you're restricting them with your immune system and turning back and bringing your immune system back into balance and reactivating your program cell death mechanisms in your body, and that's what this approach would do. That's what I would do if I had cancer, and if this didn't work, then I would go get chemo and radiation. That's my last line of defense. But before I do this system of shit, I would ask him.
Jerry, you want one, baby?
I would ask
Jerry.
JB.
They like them little crackheads.
Little tablets they chew on to calm their nerves and shit. Got tryptophan, valerian, and ginger and stuff. That's what's in the capsules.
Chamomile.
And it's got chamomile too.
That's her name.
Yeah. The other stuff like the valerian and tryptophan are just additive effects. And the valerian oil, the valerian compounds are while them tablets stink like hell. But anyway, yeah, they do. And that's what I do, but I talked to my oncologist about trying these first, and if he said yes, I did get myself allergy and sensitivity tested to each of these substances before trying it. I've already had good experience with medicinal mushrooms and shit over the years. Because I've known about them since 2000. I've known about medicinal mushrooms since 2010 at least. My aunt here introduced me to one of them, the Ganoderma or the reishi, because it was in a coffee. It was an extract mixed with instant coffee. You put in hot water, stir it in.
How long would you use hallucinogenic mushrooms?
That would be a lot of fun. I can only imagine. You know they actually take a diluted form of either real small amounts of DMT or the extract concentrate of those real small amounts to treat bad, like, chemical depression in the brain and stuff, like medical level depression. And it actually seemed to work.
Yeah, they did that with LSD too.
Mm-hmm. That's why, I think that's why Alfred Hubbard was a LSD proponent when he was making that transformer coil to turn radiation directly from the air in the atmosphere and whatnot into electricity. That's true. But this, the Ganoderma, that would be, that's where I first heard of it from her. She brought me a little powdered coffee mixes to try, and it had that in there. Reishi is amazing. It's three treasures, mostly the Shen, which is, but yes, these are the things I would probably do if I had cancer as my, probiotics. And I'd probably also take stuff like tonic alchemy as a supplement. I'd put it in my V8 and a little bit of raw broccoli sprout juice that's added, and I'd stir that together. Take the vitamin K2 just for the hell of it, and I would drink that shit. I'd drink that shit, and I'd probably eat the tonic alchemy dark chocolate here sometimes as a treat. I would emphasize the ever living shit when I eat beans and stuff like that. I would emphasize on soaking them twice in a row, and I would do that more so than usual. I mean, I'd beat a very low glycemic diet as a whole. I'd still eat if I didn't eat any animal protein or anything, I'd still take the fish oil or stuff like that. That's my little response to the Secrets of Longevity channels. What would I do if I had cancer? That's what I'd do. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed my just talking about it. If you want to know about the info I found, I got the links to the actual products for you to see. I also have I forgot to mention, I'd also probably take out microalgae capsules once in a while, just for the hell of it. Like bio superfood that was based off of research by Dr. Michael Kiryek from the Ukraine and Russia. But anyway, that's probably what I'd do. I drink purified water all the time and stuff like that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my talking about this. Hope you learned something. But as I was going to say, I can give you the links in the description when I find them, and I will recommend you read some books. But before doing any of this, you need this is just the info to give you share the knowledge that I've gained, share it with you, and then what you do is between you and your healthcare pro. That's all I'm saying. This is what I would do. I'm not telling you to do this, but if you're curious enough, I will link the info in the description below this video, and hopefully you get an understanding. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring my body and immune system back into balance and homeostasis, and while increasing my natural killer cell activity, turning on my reconfiguring and correcting my programmed cell death mechanisms in my body while shutting down mitochondria in the cancer cells with the pawpaw. That's pretty much the approach here. And if that doesn't work, I'll just go get chemo and radiation, right? And say, fuck it. I had a good run. warning, if you do use acidic, you're better off making it in a tincture form using Everclear and stuff like that. And you're better make the separate, burdock and the burdock, sheep sorrel, and the turkey rhubarb. You better get the oxalates out, because the oxalates are not very good on the kidneys. Too much of them can be a problem, but yeah. Hope you enjoy the info. Yeah, so the combination of that, this throw street, the slippery elm together in a tincture, that's DNA protective apparently. So, but hope you enjoyed the information. I'll see you around, guys. Peace out.